Good Sunday night, everybody. Welcome to the Boys of Winter episode. We are going to recap the games. I think this is actually like 40 to 46, maybe. I'm not 100% positive. I'm sorry about that. Just been a little while since I've done this. I haven't done it in actually over 3 weeks because I was going to do the 6 games preceding the All-Star break, and that's what we're going to do. And the All-Star break actually came to an end today. So that's good. The team will be back in action on Tuesday night against Winnipeg, and that'll restart the series. So anyway, I just want to recap these 6 games prior to the All-Star break first. Before I get into that, though, I just want to say sorry for the inactivity. Sorry for this being so late. It's just been busy with some other things going on. And yeah, I just want to get those all done. And as I've said now, without football season, I've kind of become very lax with this channel and all that. But it's not going to be too lax for long, that I promise you. Once springtime comes and baseball starts, it will not be lax. So it might be like this a little while, like after the Super Bowl and all that, but that's like the sports world in general. There's not a lot to talk about, but this series will continue. Mondays with Mason will continue, and so will Pitt basketball talk. And then sooner rather than later, we'll be talking about the Pirates again, which is very nice. Anyway, let's really quickly wrap up some of these games. Penguins lost 3-2 in overtime to the Carolina Hurricanes on January the 13th. This was a disappointing loss for sure, considering Carolina's not as good as some people expected them to be this year, but it doesn't matter. We still lost, but we did get a point out of it, so that's a positive for sure to take away. 2 days later, the Penguins did beat the Seattle Kraken 3-0. I was 3-0. I was at that game. It was a very good game. Halted the Krakens, I think, their 9-game winning streak, so this was definitely a good win. That is for sure. So, great win. On the 20th of January, though, we blew a 2-0 lead and lost 3-2 to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. This was a bad loss for sure, considering how competitive the NHL is. So they had the sweep of the Knights, because if you remember, we did beat them back in November. It was a Sunday night home game. We set them out, but they came back to win this one. So, got to give Vegas credit for sure, but this is definitely a disappointing one for the Pens. The 22nd of January, we lost 5-2 to the Arizona Coyotes. Arizona is much better, but this was still a disappointing loss considering we typically beat Arizona in Arizona, so this was bad for sure. Then the 26th and 27th, we have concluded the first half of the season with 2 back-to-back home games. The first one was the Pittsburgh night, Friday night. They lost 3-2 to the Florida Panthers in a shootout. Still a tough loss, but we still managed to get a point out of it, which was nice, but managing 1 point will not work for long. I'll just say that, because the playoff chase is getting tight, and we only have 2.5 months left. The next night, though, we managed to get 2 night points in an overtime game, winning 3-2 over the Montreal Canadiens, another game I was at, so that was definitely a good one, that's for sure. I was happy with that. We played well late in the game, which was good, and we managed to fight back, so that was very important, that's for sure. So good win there. Team looked good overall in the 5-game stretch. They went 2-2-2. Wow, that's an actual crazy split over 6 games. So 2-2-2. Kind of crazy time, so yeah. Anyway, let's take a brief look at the standings now coming into the unofficial second half of the year. First off, with the Atlantic Division, Boston leads that with 71 points. Florida is second, 66 points. Tampa Bay's third with 59 points. Toronto's fourth with 58 points. Detroit's fifth with 58 points. They're tied, if you couldn't tell. Buffalo's sixth with 48 points. Montreal is seventh with 48 points, so they're tied too. And Ottawa is in last with 42 points. In our Metropolitan Division, which is also a gauntlet, believe it or not, New York Rangers 63 points, Carolina Hurricanes 61 points, Philadelphia Flyers 56 points, New York Islanders 52 points, Penguins were right behind them in 5th place with 51 points, and we also have played 3 less games than them, so that's a big deal too. Devils 51 points, Capitals 51 points, and Blue Jackets in last with 42 points. On to the Western Conference now. In the Central Division, Avalanche, they have 67 points. Stars with 66 points. Winnipeg 65 points. Blues with 54 points. Predators 54 points. Coyotes 49 points. Wild 47 points. And Blackhawks 30 points. Not very good here in Chicago, despite having Connor Bedard. Pacific Division, Vancouver tied for the best record in the league with 71 points. Vegas, 64 points. Edmonton, 59 points. Los Angeles, 56 points. Seattle, 52 points. Calgary, 49 points. Anaheim, 38 points. And San Jose, 33 points. Looking at the wild card standings, the top three in the Atlantic, Boston, Florida, and Tampa Bay. Metropolitan, you got New York, Carolina, and Philly. The top two wild cards right now are Toronto and Detroit with 58 points each. Islanders are 6 points back, 52 points. We right now are 7 points back at the final wild card with 51 points, but we're 5 points back of Philly for third in the division, which personally I'd rather have that. So, because it makes the road a lot easier playing a 2-seed in the Metro than one of the division winners. So that's good. Jersey, 7 points back. Washington, they're 7 points back, just like we are. Buffalo, 10 points back. Montreal, 10 points back. Ottawa, 16 points. And Columbus, 16 points. Western Conference now, Central Division top three. Colorado, Dallas, and Winnipeg. Pacific Division top three. Vancouver, Vegas, and Edmonton. Your wildcard teams at this moment are Los Angeles and St. Louis. Nashville, though, is tied for that final wildcard spot with 54 points. Seattle's 2 points back with 52 points. Arizona, 5 points back with 49 points. Same with Calgary. Minnesota, 7 points back with 47 points. 16 points back are the Ducks with 38 points. San Jose, 21 points back with 33 points. And 24 points back are the Blackhawks with 30 points. So, yeah, they're kind of out of it, unfortunately. Alrighty, we got some interesting games coming up. These next 5 will be interesting for sure. Tuesday night, 2 nights from now, will be the Jets at home, 7 o'clock. Then Friday night, we head up to Minnesota to finish our season series with the Wild at 8 o'clock. We actually play the Jets Saturday night, finishing out the season series with them at 7 o'clock. Valentine's Day, we return home to host the Florida Panthers, 7:30. And the day after that, we head to Chicago to take on the Blackhawks at 8:30. I think once we get done with this stretch here, things will get rather interesting. That is for sure. So we'll probably have the next video out on the 16th of February. And then we got 5 games here coming up against 4 of those would be at home after the video on the 16th. Featuring the next video after that will feature the games against the Kings, Islanders, Canadians, Flyers, and a trip to Vancouver, likely video the 28th. Then on leap year, we go to Seattle to play the Kraken, then Calgary, then Edmonton, then home against Columbus and Washington. So we'll have a video probably the 8th. Boston, Edmonton. We'll probably have a video the 16th because of March. I'm sorry. So that's an interesting stretch. We'll probably have a video March 27th after that 5-game stretch. April 5th possibly looks like a video. Maybe April 6th. And then our last video will be April the 18th. So time is running out. The season, there's still a lot of it left, but not as much as you would think. So yeah, things are definitely interesting for sure. That's all I have for you guys tonight. I'll see you back here the 16th. Enjoy these next 5 games. Let's go, Pens. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. Be healthy. Pray for Israel. And as always, peace. See you the 16th.